What's your favorite song? Is it this one? Or this one?
Despacito, quiero respirar tu cuello despacito. Deja que te diga cosas al oído, para que te pierdas si no estás conmigo.
Well, guess what? If you ever ask me to play any of these songs, I'll most probably just ignore you. At least not before you and I have this talk. I'm a DJ, and unlike what you might think, I did not become a DJ by shuffling through my iPod, nor did I type 50 best hits of the year and press the first link I found. I'm a DJ, and unlike what you might expect, I do not have to play all your favorite songs. See, a DJ is a professional. I learned how to DJ when I was 16. I was mentored by a professional. I learned how to use the set and experimented with every single button with that set just to become familiar with what works and what doesn't. It was hard work. Really, really hard work. I explored every single genre of music, and I have made sure that I'm up to date with all the latest hits and the trendiest techniques. What people do not know is that being a DJ demands a lot of creativity. It requires being original even with the most common, classical, and the most popular songs, from Peggy Lee's Fever to the Eagles' Hotel California, all the way through to Luis Fonsi's Despacito, appreciating what each era has to offer. Transitioning from one song to another in a smooth way is not as easy and immediate as you might think. It involves being witty, spontaneous, and most importantly, passionate. As with every profession, we do have our challenges. Song requests. Millions and millions of song requests. Simply put, that's a DJ's worst nightmare. I do understand that the songs played aren't to everyone's liking, and requests are fine. But when people come at you with an outrageous attitude, getting pissed off if you do not play the song they have in mind, that's when you might start asking yourself if they even realize that you, too, are a professional, and that you expect to be treated as such. In fact, the non-stopping requests remind me of a small incident. I was, as usual, DJing, and it seemed that most of the crowd enjoyed a specific genre, so I stuck with that in hopes of pleasing the majority of the audience. They came to have fun, and I was granting them that. I see this random guy walking up to me with a flash memory, implying that I should just throw away my tracks and play whatever he had. Being the professional that I am, I checked the songs out, and they were a genre almost completely opposite to what the crowd would enjoy. So I told the guy that the audience seems to prefer what I was playing at that moment, put the USB aside, and continued in hopes of the guy forgetting about it. But he didn't. He would come up every 15 minutes and insist on his playlist. Once again, I continued to be patient and gestured to the fellow that I would do it later, as it wasn't the right time, only to be confronted by the worst attitude and the loveliest hand gestures. He ended up ruining my night and was escorted out by the security staff. This man assumed that I'm a jukebox, that he can insert a coin and choose whatever song he wishes to listen to. People, including my friends, often overlook the dark side of my job, overlook the fact that I'm not always cheering, happy. I'm a human who's not always treated as such. Sometimes I'm not in the mood to party. I'm anxious and frustrated. I want to be alone, in a quiet place, all by myself, curled up in my bed, hiding under my blanket, and maybe put on some music that pleases me and only me, but end up being amongst the crowd, expected to set the beat with a press of a button. I end up doing so because I'm a professional and because I have committed to. None of the audience can tell that there's anything wrong with me, because normally in parties you check the food, the music, the decorations, and many other details, except the humans behind those details. For instance, on one of those days, I was so out of it that I ended up mixing R&B with house. For those of you who do not know the technicality of it, R&B is 80 to 100 beats per minute.
Hey, hey.
Whereas house is 120 to 130 beats per minute. So to jump from R&B to house is a disaster. It's like moving a kid who can barely do simple additions to compute complex fractions. Sometimes I miss out on huge personal events for the sake of the job. It has been a long time since I've celebrated New Year's Eve with my family and friends, because every year I'm DJing somewhere. It's always a great atmosphere and good money on New Year's, but no amount of money can replace the quality time spent with my loved ones. I strive for people to perceive me as a professional and as a human. Hence, it's time for you to put yourself in my shoes. I look forward to a wild audience, not a rude crowd that can never be pleased. It's a give and take, a mutual relationship. It is also important that the audience acknowledges that I'm a human. I have feelings, and a bit of appreciation pays. If I'm here to say anything today, it is that it takes two to tango. And trust me, I'm quite a good dancer. Thank you.